Clipse just dropped one of the better projects in the last couple of years. So what can artists learn from their rollout? Let's get into it. What's good, man? It's your boy Silk, the founder of We Help Artists. We've had the pleasure of working with people like Sony, Alamo Records, and many more, and we specialize in helping artists market their music and take things to the next level. So I wanted to go ahead and bring this video to you, touching on the fact that the Clipse just dropped one of the best albums. Everybody going crazy about it, right? So what is it that artists can learn from their rollout so that you can implement it into yours? So let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. So the first thing we learned off top is that age no longer matters when it comes to rap and when it comes to music in general. But the thing is though, right, you got to make sure that you still doing things tastefully. See, the thing that make the Clipse so great is even though they are in their 40s and Malice is even 52, they did not chase the youth. You feel me? Like they're youthful, they still fly, all of that shit, but it didn't feel like they were chasing a younger audience. So if you are an artist watching this and you're in your later 30s, your 40s, your 50s, the way you can make sure that you break through in the older audience, I mean, even as an older artist, you break through to a younger audience or you break through to the audience in general is you got to make sure you're marketing yourself appropriately for your age group, right? So if you 50 and let's say you wanted to run some ads to promote your music, you don't want to sit here and start off your campaign by promoting yourself to 18-year-olds. It's not to say that none of them ain't going to rock with you, but the chances of them rocking with you at the highest level is not likely, at least early on. So some of them might come along as you go, but you'll be better off marketing to your peers at first, right? So if you 40, market to people like, 35 to 45. If you 50, 45 to 55, 45 to 60. You feel me? You want to start out your campaign there, because if you're trying to market yourself to the younger people, then they might not resonate with you because you just don't look like them. And then vice versa. If you 18, 19, and you trying to promote your music to 40-year-olds, unless your music sounds like a throwback or something that's similar to what they might listen to or they listen to growing up, they might not be your target audience. So age doesn't matter, but how you do it still is important. And I know some of y'all might be watching the video like, yeah, but the Clipse, they blew up when they was younger and now they already got fans. Yeah, but Griselda, they blew up in their later 30s, early 40s. So it still can happen, but your approach is going to be the key and making sure that you resonating with the audience. The next thing that we learned is this is a great time and there's a ton of demand for lyrical artists and bars in rap. So if you're an artist that got bars, you got lyrics, you one of those type of artists, this is actually a great time for you to be making music because there's a big gap in the market, right? That's not what most people are doing at this point. So the fact that the Clipse came through and everybody loved it, they sold 90,000 projects independently. So that means that it wasn't just their core audience. That means everybody was getting behind this and championing this. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an artist that got bars, this is actually a great time to be alive. This is actually a great time to be an artist. I don't want to hear all of that. Oh, nobody cares about rap anymore. Nobody cares about lyrics. Cap. We just saw it. But you got to be able to present yourself the right way. So one of the things that you can do is take a look at an artist like Lareezy Music. Take a look at an artist like La Russell. Take a look at an artist like Coda the Friend. And they will show you some examples of content that resonates with the audience, where you just setting up your camera, you got your lyrics popping up on screen, and then you rapping your shit. And if you got bars, you could put your lyrics right on the screen, and now people gonna feel exactly what you said. Deontay Hitchcock, that's another one that does this at a high level. So lyrical rappers, this is your time. But you just gotta present yourself properly. We just gotta make sure we're doing the visual content, and then we gotta go ahead and make sure that we're reaching out to that audience that's looking for that kind of music. So if you was running an ad campaign, you might want to target somebody like, Mac Miller. You might want to target somebody like Pusha T. You might want to target somebody like Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? You can select these people as you're targeting so that you make sure you're getting in front of their audience. And if you need some help with that, www.wehelpartists.com. You feel me? But that's how you can make sure that you as a lyrical artist are resonating and getting in front of the audience. So all of this narrative about lyrics and nobody cares about lyrics anymore and all of that, cap. It's over with for that. People want to hear lyrics, so make sure you putting yourself out there if that's what you do. Speaking of visuals and those artists I mentioned, the next thing that we learn is that visuals are key. And this really shouldn't be something you learning. This is just more of a reminder. Now, obviously, the Clipse came with some crazy ass visuals, right? Nobody is expecting you to have a red camera, $50,000 camera, and everything gonna look perfect like them. No, but visuals are important. And that's why this shit connected at another level. If they would have did this whole rollout the exact same way, but they did not have any visuals, it only would have been audio that they were dropping, it wouldn't have connected the same way. So visuals, like it or not, are a huge part of the game at this point. It's not even about as much dropping a million songs as it is about dropping a million visuals to the songs you got. You feel me? So the Clipse, they're older, they're more established, they're able to just do music videos, and then they got a big ass budget to do promo, right? So they don't have to do all of the short form pieces of content, even though they was doing hella content. They was doing hella interviews. They was doing, GQ shit. They did the runway shit. That kind of started the whole narrative where they had, the song with Kendrick playing while people walking down the runway and all that shit. So visuals is mad important. They had some dope ass videos for this project. So what do you need to do? You need to either pull your phone out. If you don't have a budget, you need to pull your phone out, get you a tripod for the low on Amazon, and then go ahead and shoot your visual content. And try to make it interesting. Don't just set it up and just, that's cool. That's a good place to start. It's better than nothing. But think about when you're making your content, what is it that I can do in this content that's not cringe to me, but it's also going to resonate with the audience and make them want to stop scrolling. You feel me? Because you're going to want to make these visuals for social media. So visuals are super important. Making sure that you're cranking out visual content to all of your releases is going to be another key. What's good? I hope you're enjoying the video, but check this out. You're actually late. Our community members get early access to everything that's on YouTube and access to the stuff that never makes it here. Like our exclusive courses, like access to funding and everything we have inside of here. All of the resources and tools that'll help you market your music, level up your career, early access to conversations, funding, and let's not forget a community of over 400 members that you're able to network with all across the US and the globe. So if you want to go ahead and really level up your career, hit that button in the description, join the community today, and we'll see you inside. Let's get back to the video. This might be the most important lesson of them all, right? And this ain't new, but it's key. And that is, if this music was ass, none of the rest of the shit they did, this whole rollout would have mattered. The music has to be good. The music has to be entertaining, right? And I know some of y'all watching the video, you like, yeah, but Lil Jam Jam, he got a fan base and his music ass. It's ass to you. It's ass to you, bro. But somebody like it. You feel me? So if you feel like an artist that's got a big fan base that's always going viral, their music going crazy is trash, guess what? They trash to you. But you're not the only person out here. Somebody finding their music entertaining. So when I say, oh, the music got to be good, it don't mean do you think they got the best bars. It means, is their music entertaining to enough people to where they got a fan base? All right. So whoever pop in your mind when you think about a trash artist that's got a big fan base, it's working, gang. So they're doing it right. So if the music does not connect, none of the shit the Clipse, Pusha T, Malice, Pharrell, anybody else was doing would have mattered. Like the Clipse could have did everything the exact same from this rollout, but if people would have heard the project and then they would have said, man, this shit trash, it would have never gotten the 90,000 in sales. The reason it got the 90,000 in sales is because, yes, they did a great rollout. They did a bunch of great marketing in advance. But when people finally heard the music, the shit was actually hard. So you know what I know I did? I told a homie about it. I said, bro, this Clipse album hard, Pharrell going crazy. The beat's hard, right? And then I'm sure that's what everybody was doing. They was putting somebody on to the Clipse project like, bro, this shit hard, And then it started that conversation on social media. Like, you remember when Sinners blew up? Like, I know for me with Sinners, right? It was like, I seen the rollout, you know what I'm saying? I seen the trailers and shit, and I was like, I don't really know what this is about. All right, cool. And then it came out, right? And so people who went and saw that shit on Friday, they was going so crazy on Twitter that by the time Friday night came, I bought my tickets for the next day. I was like, damn, everybody's saying this shit fire. All right, I got to go see what's going on. So the best marketing you can ever get is word of mouth. You feel me? The whole goal of this shit is we want to be making content that's going to resonate, music that's going to resonate, that's so dope that somebody want to share it with somebody else, because word of mouth marketing is better than anything else. If you see an ad for a new restaurant on your timeline right now, you might check it out. But if your homeboy come to you and be like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I had this new spot over here on what street last night, this shit was fire. Now you way more likely to go see what's going on because somebody you respect, their opinion, just gave you that recommendation. So that's the biggest key about everything. And like, honestly, if you watching any of this type of content, bro, if the music ads, none of this shit don't matter. You could do all the other shit, all you want to, but if the music don't connect, everything is way harder. So the music got to be connecting. You feel me? That's the biggest takeaway of all of them. Now, the last two things I want to touch on are things that like work for the Clipse, but you don't need to do it, which is one, they had a very, very long rollout, right? Like, I mean, I think we saw the first clips of like people walking down the runway to the song that ended up having Kendrick on it. I think we saw clips from that. We saw that like last year. So that's cool, but that's not something you need to do, right? You don't need some long ass drawn out 6-month rollout. That was great for the Clipse because one, they already are known, they have a fan base, and two, they haven't dropped as a group in a long ass time. So they needed time to build up the hype machine. Had they just surprise dropped the shit, it wouldn't have connected the same way. Like the people that did hear it would have talked about it, but there's no way it would have got 90,000 in first week sales without them doing that long rollout. So if you already got a big established fan base, then that's when you can start doing more pre-rollout music marketing, right? Where you rolling out your shit and you giving yourself a long lead time to get as much awareness as possible so that when the moment comes, everybody tuned in. But for most of y'all watching this right now, you ain't even got a big enough fan base at the moment to where that even makes sense. You need to be focusing all your energy on post-rollout marketing. You feel me? Keep the pre-rollout marketing short and sweet. And then after the song drops, that's when you want to do all of your extensive marketing. You feel me? So instead of you like, let's say you got a 5-song EP about to come out, right? You don't got to promote that shit. Like you can promote it to your followers, like, you know what I'm saying? Post it on the story, stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't need to like do any real paid marketing for it before it drops if you don't already got a big fan base. So you could like tell your audience about it, but then once it actually drops, that's when you want to do all your marketing. That's when you need to be dropping content nonstop, 10, 20, 30 pieces of content to each record. That's when you want to be posting consistently. That's when you want to be running ads to the songs and the pieces of content that are connecting. So for them, a long pre-rollout was great. For you, a long post-rollout is what you need to do. And then last thing, but not least, is you got to stay in these folks' face. You feel me? The Clipse throughout this whole rollout, they was in niggas' face the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like from the time they started really rolling this project out, I want to say maybe 2 months ago, we started seeing Pusha T, maybe a month ago, whatever, we started seeing Pusha T talking about how he felt like Trav was whack and Kanye and this and that. They went ahead and they started working, they moved, they stayed in people's face the whole time. This is the pop out era. You got to stay in people's face the whole time. Once you pop out, you out, bro. You know what I mean? You go away for 3 weeks, they gonna forget about you. That's the game we living in. So now if you somebody that's like, oh, I don't want to have to do that all the time. Well, then you got to go ahead and pull your wallet out and start doing paid marketing. Because if you like, I don't want to do the organic content shit all the time, then it's like, okay, cool. Well, here's the thing. You can post less often, make sure they're quality posts, but then you need to be running ads every single day. So even though you ain't posting every day to get in front of somebody new, your content's still getting in front of somebody new because that ad is running every day. So let's say I make this video today, then I go and run ads on this. 3 weeks from now, somebody new could see this and want to check it out. You feel me? And I made it one day. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to post about it nonstop. If you're doing a paid marketing, you can do that. But if you don't have that budget, then guess what, bro? If you have no budget, you have to be making content. It's no and ifs or buts about it, bro. Because how else the hell you gonna get seen? If you ain't getting seen, you're not getting heard. All right? So you got to stay in these folks' face. So I hope you found this video valuable, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. If you want early access to all of the content like this, make sure you go ahead and get in our community, bro. It costs less than a coffee, and you can go ahead and learn everything you need to learn. Get early access to all of this. We got funding. We got everything you need in there. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to get in there. And yes, sir, it's your boy Silk tapping out. Pause. It's your boy Silk signing out, and we'll catch you in the next video.